Hi. Hello again. It's still June 14th. So, couple things. The first, I had this realization of potential energy after hearing and reflecting on MJ's message. Not just the one this morning, but it's mid-June, so they come out with like mid-June or mid-month readings. And it's funny because so I've been mentioning there's this cycle ending for me around this time frame, and it's not just for me but for many people, and I got to notice it. I as part of my effort of like asking for help, I was like, okay, you know what, I've been working out a lot, so I have my bag of like dirty clothes that I need to wash, and I'm just like, okay, who can I call to help me? So I don't have to, wherever I can save a buck, right? Wherever I can save a buck, I'm like, all right. So I was like, washing clothes, right? It's like a good certain amount a month. I have family that has washers and dryers. I'm just gonna hit them up and be like, who's next on line, right? And so I've been doing laundry at family's house. So I went today to my brother's house, and I called my sister-in-law. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I stop by? I just want a load of laundry that I have. Yeah, sure, come on over. And you got to see the kids, and it was nice. It continues to be a great experience being there around the energy, hearing the kids laugh and play with my brother, and I was so moved by hearing their laughter and hearing them have so much fun. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried before, because my brother and I always clashed. I would get triggered a lot with my siblings when I would see them with their kids, because I could see the cycle repeat itself when they were really young, and to be able to witness the cycle breaking, the cycle, these barriers, right, these constructs falling apart for this new cycle to start, right? Not to say that it's going to be perfect, or that, you know, the elements of the old cycle are going to completely go away. It's going to take work, and it's taking work, and I can see that. But it's really incredible to see the shift in people, and to see that change, and to see them working at it, and it's just really great. And I was filled with so much peace and love and reassurance that they're gonna be just fine, you know. And even though I mentioned before that in my family I always felt like the parent almost emotionally, more so for my parents than my siblings, really. Well, my sister to a certain degree, my brother not so much. I think my brother and I kind of like, I don't know if it was because we were a year apart or born in the same month, like only a few days away from each other. Like it's funny because it's like we're kind of like twins almost, but not really. But I know he when he sees his twins, he's reminded of us too when we were younger, and so I always felt like it was my brother and I, and even like handling our parent separation, like there was, he aligned with my mom, I aligned with my dad, so it just initially, you know, and then, but anyways, going off topic, but just to see and experience the energy shift in that household has been amazing and reassuring, in the sense where I'm like, and I'm seeing it even with my sister, and there's this sense of peace of like, I can continue to to let them be, right? To not feel responsible for them, for their well-being, like I used to be, you know, where I felt like I couldn't go off and focus on me. I couldn't leave and explore parts of myself because I was so focused on making sure I get a good job, making sure I got my degree, to be that stability that they needed in case something happened. So the shift, right, in this do-over part of my life that I didn't get a chance to explore because I was so focused on their well-being, is now unfolding, and because I shifted and took the initiative to shift the ripple effect of that, I'm seeing it play out, and it's so neat. Not to say that it was me, no, like my sister-in-law had a big part in this, like from day one with my brother, and I knew it when I first, not when I first met her, because initially, I mean, my brother dated a lot, so when she came out, I really didn't pay attention because it was like, I didn't know how long that was gonna last. But when she stuck around, I was just like, oh, she's different. And I remember she even came to me, and you know, like, she's just different. And I noticed it even more so when they got married, and I mean, I sent her mom a card, like a thank you card. Thank you for having your child. Like, I was so appreciative of my sister-in-law because she was a godsend. She was a godsend, for sure. Yeah. So anyways, I was doing laundry in their house. I got emotional, and I'm like trying to make sure they don't see me cry. But it felt like there was this relief of like, I can walk away from this if I wanted to, right? Because I know they're going to be okay without me, right? Just another cycle kind of coming to an end in that respect of my relationship, my intimate relationships with my loved ones. And so, so it's funny because I mentioned that I used to live with my brother for a few years and help them raise their kids, and so I show up and I had my bag, my laundry bag, and I'm just like, hey, it feels like I'm home from college, like, to do laundry. Like, I came in, my sister-in-law was laughing at me. And then the funny thing is, like, I'm telling her, you know, where I'm at in terms of like relationships and stuff, and just reflecting, right, on my relationships and the fact that I don't know how to date, and that I'm learning, right, how to navigate this, and then even just sharing a little bit about my experience from the night before, and just making sure, right, I navigate that carefully where I'm not misleading, you know. And it's funny because MJ had this message, the mid-month message, so it circles back to what I started off with. MJ had this mid-month message for the summer solstice, and like I mentioned before, like, I watch my rising sign, which is Libra, my sun sign Gemini, especially around this time because it's Gemini season. But Leo is the energy that I'm supposed to embrace, so I definitely watch that one. And then sometimes I watch Capricorn because that one's my moon sign. So I listen to those, and it's funny because she's talking about this new relationship, right? And then I'm just like, right, like, todo con un aire, de verdad. Like, you need to know yourself, you need to know your situation, right? We have all this collective energy and the details of it, right? So this might be a little more details for someone else in terms of how exact it is. For me, it's a whiff, it's an aire in this particular case, because it's like, new relationship, yeah, like, it's a friendship. It initially would have started off as a potential new relationship if we started dating, but that's not the case right now. Like, we both, like, we're very clear of, like, we're just friends, right? We're hanging out, but we're just friends. But she talked in a way where it, like, the unfolding of the events, potential events, and she highlighted some things that he and I talked about yesterday. I was like, don't, that's right, like, you know, take it back, like slow down, like, think about this, make sure, right, ask the hard questions, make sure that I'm clear about intentions. And so it made me reflect, because again, I don't know how to date. I'm learning, right? Not that I'm dating, but just getting to know people. Right? Foundation is friendship. Always foundation is friendship. Potential energy. That was the focus. Because she outlined this potential path. And I can see that as a potential path, even though I knew, I'm like, I don't see it going there, but I could see it potentially going there. Like, because I already making my decision about where I stand in this connection or relationship. And then how you move to that next level in that relationship, right? From friendship to maybe something more, and being clear, right? Instead of just seeing what happens. No, it's like being clear from the beginning, right? To either nip it if it's gonna go off in a certain direction, or clarify, right? So I kept thinking, she's talking about potential energy. For me, personally, right? There's a whiff of truth, but there's potential. And then it started making me think about just tarot reading in general, right? There's guidance to it, and people get frustrated because it's just potential energy. It's just potential energy. If you don't work it, right? And I've shared this before, if you don't work it, or if you don't pick or choose a path, it may not go down that path, right? The potential energy will shift into another timeline. It's like you're going on the freeway, and then there's a shift in your decision, and you get off the off-ramp to go on another freeway or to take the side route, right? So that potential energy, the destination now shifts into something else, right? And now you're going this way, or so it was just fascinating. But then I was reflecting on other experiences. So when I had my spiritual awakening at the very beginning, where everything was heightened, right? Christina Lopes talks about how, like, that beginning period, everything's heightened. And so then, like, that's why I was feeling like I can sense people's physical pain. And then I was experiencing that elated, like, joy of connectedness. And then I was feeling a tingling sensation in my brain when I would connect with certain songs, certain experiences. And then I remember there was a part where things just kind of, like, I can see, like, I can literally see potential energy. That's what it was. It was just all potential energy. Like, I can see a life, right, unfold. I can see a project unfold. Like, I remember with this other individual when I was spending time with him, and we were talking about potential projects, a comic book, and I remember him saying, "Don't take that idea, it's mine." I'm like, "No, it's yours. Like, I'm not gonna touch it." But I just, like, I can visually remember just seeing it unfold, and it felt so real. And being tripped out about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could totally see it. Like, I could see it unfold, right? I can see it unfold. And the connection between why I get so hung up on potential energy when I see it in people. I can see a potential path for them. But it's just potential, right? It's not truth in that moment. It's just potential energy. Until that person chooses that path, then it becomes real. So I had this realization on the way home today that I was like, okay, if MJ is speaking to potential energy for the collective, right? Like, where it, because I know Allie from Tarot, Allie's Tarot, she talks about it all the time. She talks about, like, this is just potential energy. Like, they're picking up the potential of where this energy will most likely go, But there's always that air of like, it may not go there because of free will, of choice. It might do a U-turn, it might get off the off-ramp, you might get stuck, right, with a blown tire. But it's potential energy. So then I started thinking, I'm like, is that where I'm headed? in terms of more of them tapping into my spiritual gifts, like it, because that was something I would get hung up on, right? Potential energy, and getting stuck there with people based on their potential energy versus what's real life in front of me. And then having that experience during that time frame of like when everything was so heightened in terms of my senses, where I could just, I mean, it was like the domino of like everything just unfolded. Like I could just see it, and it felt so real, and it could potentially be real for this person if they chose that path. And then hearing her talk about this relationship, friendship really, for me, for us, but then how she kind of like later on down the path about like, oh, it might be exclusive, but I'm like, whoa. Like, hold up, because that's not where I'm at. And I don't see it going that way. But it's a collective energy. So for other people, it might be that route. And she's talking about the signs. Like, she points out like possible signs, most likely signs, and I'm like, that's that person that I'm dealing with, that, because the storyline is the same for that zodiac sign in my life, right? The water sign and the fire sign, and then where I'm at, and then what I'm wanting, right? And really, now that I feel like this weight has been lifted, like truly lifted, I don't know if I definitely want a sense of freedom. I definitely want that. To just sit with that for a while. You know, and go out with whoever I want to go out with, and have fun with whoever I want to have fun with. I no longer feel the need to be with someone. Which is funny, because the video that I last posted was that realization of like feeling the need that I needed to be with someone to feel a sense of security. And this whole time frame, that's what I've been working on, is just knowing and feeling that I have my own power, and that I have the ability to secure that sense of stability for myself, by myself. I don't have to wait for someone to direct me. I can figure it out, because I've done it before, so I can do it again. And to be open to asking for help when I need it. Also, just that realization of like, it's potential energy that she's dealing with. That's right, it's potential energy. Why would I get stuck on potential energy, right? In the past, and then still being able to see, when I meet people, I can see the potential, right? You know, like with Miss Hannah, like I saw the potential of the business, but how and when if it chooses to get there, right? It's going to be dependent on choices. Whether it's my choices or her choices. It's just potential until you start making the choices towards that potential, right? If your goals are aligned. So I thought that was interesting. That realization. And then wondering, like, is that part of like my spiritual gift? Like that, you know? And just that realization, that extra nugget. This big puzzle, right? This big puzzle of discovery, if you will. But anyways, I got my mic. So I just need to get the next, there's like another piece of equipment that I need, and I'm gonna order it today and get that rolling. Yeah, that was it. I just wanted to speak to that because I was really excited that I made that connection and that possibility of like, oh, is that what that was? You know, like, is that why I would get stuck on potential energy? Because that's what I see in people. And so it's part of this foreseer business, right? Like she is. She's a foreseer. Like MJ's a foreseer, right? That's the tarot reading that she does, and she foresees potential energy, and so that is really cool, I think. But I want to show you guys this because I bought it off of Hannah's sample sale. We're trying to figure out how to do more sample sale, like a summer sample sale maybe, because the launch party was like so much fun. Look how gorgeous this is. It's a hand chain, moonstone, and it's gorgeous because the moonstone actually has a shade of blue in the sun. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's just gorgeous. This hand chain, and then I ended up getting a matching moonstone gemstone. Let's see, it's a large moonstone. It's just beautiful. I think it's just gorgeous. I don't know if you guys can see that. Not seeing my face in the background. Let's see. There we go. It's just gorgeous, and I love that it turns blue in the light. It's just beautiful. So yeah, I just wanted to promote that. And then like I have these Herkimer diamond earrings also. Let's see if I could go behind it. There we go. They're gorgeous. Yeah. Oh, and another note, surprise, I got booked to do modeling July 2nd. It's Friday for an art class, so I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited because I really like her art class. It's Jewel Salas, and I'll see how quickly I can pose. I mean, this may not be, I don't know if that'll be, I kind of want to be her regular, or you know, like every, like, you know, so like her backup basically, because it's so much fun, and it seems like fun and liberating, and just kind of again, an opportunity for me to embrace parts of myself that make me feel uncomfortable, and embrace, you know, large Marge as I'm getting rid of her, and you know, I'm lifting weights again. I feel hella good. I'm keeping track of my progress, and you know, how many reps I'm doing, and the weights, and it's fun. and there's really cool people at the gym that, you know, yeah, it's fun, and it's really cool because then I can see the ones who are serious and who aren't, you know, like who know how to keep track. Like there's some people that just like, they just go in there like pushing through it, and they don't track their anything. I don't know, they must have a really good memory, because I'm not like that. I need to, like, I have my phone and I put it down. I'm like, okay, I did, you know, the overhead press, and you know, I did 3 sets of 10 at, you know, 25 pounds, you know, and just kind of like stuff like that. And then I challenge myself, you know, I'll skip a day and then go the other day, and okay, same thing, you know, we'll do, you know, 2 sets of 10 at 25, and then 1 set of 10 at the next weight bracket. So the exertion is I mean, it can be addicting, but it's a really good, like, and I have music on, you know, like pushing through it, so it's a lot of fun. Yeah, so there's that, and what's that? I think that was it. I just want to speak to that, so you guys have a good one. Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us, in whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.